everybody. We are live. This is Demetra K. And not only are we live on the podcast, we have Spotify, Spreaker, iHeartRadio, Podbean. We are live on Facebook as soon as it reconnects. We are also going to eventually be on YouTube. And so hello to you guys on YouTube. As soon as my connection starts here on Facebook, hello Facebook, we're back. Hopefully it does not do that again. Hopefully it'll stay connected. I believe that it will. Wow. Okay, cool. So I'm going to be having a conversation with those on Facebook who is, the main live audience. Eventually I'd like to go live on YouTube to take some questions from people on YouTube. But that's in the near future or so. So anyway, hello to you guys on Facebook. Hopefully you guys can see the topic. I will explain that because some people are probably like, what is going on? What do we like? What does Mueller have to do with reparations and all that? I hope that I can do a good job in explaining that, and maybe you guys will say, aha, I get it. And so before we get started here, I'd just like to say thank you to Donovan Sadiq, who is the man in front of the curtain that actually does all the things behind the curtain, the podcast, YouTube, and his studio. He allows me to use it here. And also thank you to Marcus Guyton and all those who help him in spreading the message all over Facebook so more people can watch what we're doing here. Again, as I said, thank you to the audience on Facebook who is, of course, the host, if you will. That ask questions and things like that. Always the purpose of the Demetra K Show is to promote Black love, knowledge, and understanding of all the things that go on in the Black community to make us an even better people. Okay, so now that I said that, also I guess I should acknowledge those who celebrate Easter. I don't celebrate Easter. Hey Gloria, thank you as well for posting the link on here. For those of you who are not friends with me, click on the link and then you'll be able to comment. So again, those of you who celebrate Easter, I guess happy Easter to you. I'm not one of those who celebrate it, although I'm not one of those who knock you for doing it either. And so let's go ahead and get started, and I will get to every last one of you guys' comments. All right, and so the topic I have here says, did Mueller, I always say Mueller, but it's Mueller, just help Black people get reparations? Okay, well, what can I mean by that? So by now you've heard that Robert Mueller and the Department, I'm going to say it wrong, so just bear with me. Robert Mueller and the Department of Justice has concluded its investigation regarding President Donald Trump and the collusion, that he allegedly had with Russia and all that kind of stuff. The Mueller report concluded that there was no collusion, but they could not exonerate either, right? So in fact, the redacted version of the Mueller report has said the following. Mueller was unable to conclude that no criminal conduct occurred, okay? CNN also reported the investigation was also unable to clear President Trump on obstruction. The report states that the evidence obtained about the president's action and intent presents difficult issues that prevent us from conclusively determining that no criminal conduct occurred. While Trump is off the hook with Mueller, the DOJ and the DOJ, he may not be off the hook with Congress. Mueller has determined that while his investigation has not found anything conclusive, Congress still has the right to investigate if they want to do that. Let me finish. Okay. It was reported that shortly after the Mueller report was released, Trump's approval rating dropped about 3%. Out of about, I think it was a little over 1,000 people who were polled. And so it wasn't everybody. Because, we hear these polls come out. We think, oh my gosh, that must be right because 2 people were polled, or whatever the case is. Okay. So, however, the majority of people who were polled feel that Trump should not be impeached due to the Mueller report findings. No surprise there. Trump, the candidate, and Trump, the president, has emboldened and solidified his base, which is mostly made up of white supremacists and people who subscribe to white supremacist ideologies. The Mueller report now serves as glue for Trump's base. For one, it will keep his base together, and secondly, it will serve as an adhesive for those who are undecided on Trump's guilt or innocence. All right, so what does Mueller's report have to do with Black people and reparations? Bear with me, okay? Since the implementation of Franklin Roosevelt's New Deal in the 1930s, the majority of black people have voted Democrat, okay? The New Deal was a program that was designed to help the poor and black people in America back then. Per Demographics.com, because of the New Deal, 71% of blacks voted for Roosevelt. Now remember, we used to be primarily Republicans, okay? So 71% of blacks voted for Roosevelt, even though about 44% of blacks were only registered Democrats. The rest were registered Republicans or other, if you will. From that point, the more desegregation took place, the more we started to vote Democrat. Now we're speaking, about 70% of black people consider themselves to be Democrats. But in the last election, 88% of black people voted for Hillary Clinton, who was then the Democrat nominee for, to become president, if you will. Now, moving to 2019, while the call for reparations is not new, and neither is the ADOS movement, American Descendants of Slaves, the call for it has been renewed. So the call for reparations has been renewed. Okay? Now, the movement is calling for the reparations that was promised to freed slaves to finally be paid. In 1865, General William Sherman wrote the special field orders that stated that free slaves should be granted 40 acres and a mule. The orders were signed into action by President Abraham Lincoln. A few black people actually was given land until the following president, Andrew Johnson, reversed the order. The land was even taken back from the black owners and given back to the white people, if you will. Now, black people who are a part of the ADOS movement are asking candidates who represent the Democratic Party, or the Democrat Party, I should say, to not only research, because, you hear a lot of the candidates say, well, let's do some research and see what's going on. Right, that's what they say, that we're going to do some research, okay? We don't want research. We
got to study.
We want to check. Yeah, you don't need to study. Hell, if we know what's going on, right, you should know, being a member of Congress or whatever, you should already know these things, okay? So we don't want them to research the dynamics. We want them to actually deliver us a check. Now, if the candidates are not willing to promise to help deliver reparations to American descendants of slaves, then the ADOS are going to hold their votes. That's what we're saying. Well, most of them are saying, if we don't get what we want, we're just not going to vote at all. Okay? Now, remember, the Democrat Party needs black votes to win. That's just a fact. Back to Mueller. Helping black people getting reparations, okay? Not only will his report help Trump keep his loyal Republican supporters, it will help Trump gain some Democrats who that might have been on the fence. They just will, because some people are probably like, well, we don't know if he's guilty, but now, Trump is going to spin it. They've declared victory. We weren't guilty, this, that, and the other. Okay? So, in a nutshell, the Democratic Party is screwed. And if black people hold our votes unless the Democrats finally, I said finally, emphasize, deliver something to us, their most loyal voters, we are their most loyal voters. It's just a fact. Black people are.
They can't win without us.
They are going to be screwed. Okay? Because they got, Democrats who are potentially going to leave, white Democrats and other Democrats, and then us who are saying now we're finally wanting something for our votes. And so, while Robert Mueller probably had no intention on helping black people to get reparations, his report has helped us nevertheless. Do you guys see what I see? Did that make any sense at all?
The report?
Yeah, we know the report, but I'm saying I think what we need to realize, and I'm going to get to everyone in the comments, what we need to realize is that that's just an extra caveat or leg up to help us, because now Democrats are not only trying to get us because they're starting to lose us. They've had us for so long.
Yeah, now you got to vote Trump out.
Now you got to vote Trump out. And see, the Mueller report was supposed to be the nail in the coffin for Trump. It just did not prove to be the nail in the coffin.
Yeah, no, I never thought that, because when dealing with white people.
But I'm saying the Democratic Party thought that it was going to be the nail in the coffin.
No, I don't think so. Same donors.
They thought that because now they would finally have some validity and saying, yes, see, we told you there was some collusion. They thought
they weren't going to do anything.
The point that I'm making is I'm not saying they were going to, maybe the Democrats, the party wasn't going to do anything, but that was going to be their talking point to the rest of the American people, the Democrats, to get us riled up. See, he got to go. We got to vote him out. Not only does he like to grab women's hoo-has, he's also been proven, even though most people believe that Trump is guilty of something, okay? The DOJ just could not find anything conclusive to say he is definitely guilty.
Well, not true, okay? And then let me just intercede real quick. Nobody is reading the report. I happen to have sat up for 2 days.
And read 430-something pages?
No, I didn't read the 130 pages,
okay.
but I did read the conclusion of Mueller. What Mueller did was he set up, even if you read the report, he basically tells you what obstruction of justice is.
Correct.
He defines it.
Correct.
So his thing is, because he works under the DOJ, they can't indict a sitting president. But he is set up to say, okay, here's all the stuff you need for Congress.
Right.
There's no need to investigate this, that. I've already proven this guy has obstructed justice. Now it's up to you.
Which is what I said in my notes, that he has given Congress, that you said you guys have the right. I'm not telling you.
No, not the right. He set it up completely.
He said, because I read the report too.
Okay. But no, he didn't say he set it up.
No, he did say that doesn't mean that Congress can't do it. I'm not saying that they have the right to do that. I'm just saying that
There are 10 elements. There are 10 elements in
I
there.
wear glasses and I can read too.
Yes,
okay?
but there are 10 elements in that report.
I read all of them.
That Trump is guilty of obstruction of justice. There's 10 incidences.
Right, but they cannot personally do anything. They're saying here, we don't have anything conclusive.
They can't indict a
Right, and so the point that I'm making is that is not the nail in the coffin that the Democratic Party, because Democratic is a process, the Democratic Party was looking for, because if they had that, then they would be able to say, see, here he is as guilt without a shadow of a doubt. The DOJ was not able, for whatever reason, people have their own conclusions, they weren't able to do that. And so now the Republicans, as we've seen, have been able to use that. See, you guys, it was a witch hunt that Trump kept saying. We know that is not true, but I'm just saying, because most people aren't as versed as you and I or anybody on this podcast or Facebook. Yet a lot of people are not as versed as us, which is why we as black people keep voting overwhelmingly for a party that has never, ever, ever, ever delivered the goods to us.
Right.
And so that was going to be, because you're missing my point, that was going to be the Democrats' talking point to 2020 to say that Trump is guilty. That was going to be their talking point. It wasn't. And so now Republicans are able to say it was a witch hunt. They didn't find anything. There wasn't anything here. And so with the point that I'm making, we know that. But I'm saying the average person who votes is not going to go past the talking points. They are, as we say on our show, they're going to believe the hype. They're going to, because we just do. We believe, especially black people, in regards to Democrats, we believe everything they say they're going to do. So that wasn't going to, the Democrats need a different strategy. In addition to now the ADOS movement, American Descendants of Slaves, saying we are not falling for your nonsense anymore. So the Democrat Party has a whole host of issues. One being that Trump, the nail is not in the ground. The nail in the coffin did not go in. And black people are finally demanding something tangible.
But let me say this before you start asking questions. What Mueller did was he put it on the Democrats. The Democrats are in the House. Now he have 10 elements of obstruction of justice. If the Democrats do not indict this man, impeach him.
They're not going to.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If they don't, that's even going to be a far worser cry in not getting the black vote.
I'm going to tell you why they're not going to. I'm going to get to you guys' comments.
Because it gets to the Senate, they're not going to impeach him.
Well, they're not going to do it because they, for one, it's going to be too time consuming. They don't have a lot of time to do that. They're trying to get a Democrat in the White House. Another thing, that's going to give more, we know a crime is a crime. Hell, Trump was a criminal before he got in the White House, and he's still in there. So, also, the more the Democrats say he's guilty, the more the Republicans are going to hold up the report
and say nope.
There's nothing, no guilt here. This is a free man that you guys have targeted. So it's going to be, it's not going to be good for them. And I'm not even in politics like that, and I understand.
Gotcha.
All right, so let me get to you guys' comments. Sorry about that. Let's see. So, hello to everybody. Amanda says, hair is cute. Thank you. You know, I did it myself. And what's happening says, please do. I think you're saying about me explaining how I came to my, sometimes I be thinking weird stuff. So I'm not sure
we know.
if my talking points even made sense to you guys. And let's see, Romel says, thank you, Donovan. Hillside, D.C., Hillside. He don't know about no Hillside. And let's see what else. Romel says, Resurrection Day. Yes, that's what they say. But we ain't going to get into that. Hey, Sydney, what's happening? Hey, Asada. And Derek says, hey, Demetra. And Asada says, DM. So she's tagging somebody. And then she's also tagging somebody else. Who else we got? Sydney says, no. They all knew NYC Southern District investigations were more important than Mueller's investigation. And we all know the NYPD is the second branch of the FBI. Well, that's the other thing, too. They're saying, what is it, Virginia and New York are supposed to be having these investigations. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to say this about your thing that, we all know he's a criminal. Remember, he has been in a co-conspirator indicted already. He has a co-conspirator in the Cohen case.
And Sydney is saying they can't impeach him yet.
Well, they can't. The Department of Justice cannot indict a sitting president. That's their policy. That's why Mueller set up the 10 elements and even defined what they can do, and he defined everything and said, okay, now it's up to the House. The House can impeach him, but the point is to do that, it's going to go to the Senate where the trial will take place, and of course, who controls the Senate? Republicans. So he's not going to leave office.
So that's what I'm saying. So the Democrats really needed that.
But I think they need to impeach him because that will show that no man's above the law, regardless if they're going to lose or not. What's the difference? If you're not going to do it, you're setting a precedent.
They're just not going to. They're not going to impeach Trump.
Yeah.
They may talk. They're going to investigate, talk a good game. We got his bank statement. All that. They talk a good game. It's just really for you and I.
Yeah. Well, Maxine Waters has been saying that. Too.
That's what they call it, kabuki theater, if you will, for you and me. That's for you and I should say. That's to keep us.
Ooh, wow. Ooh, look at that. Ooh, go ahead. I'm claiming my time.
They're probably all having Easter dinner
right now. They all have the same donors.
Right.
And that's why we want
you to know this. He says, hey, gorgeous, love the hair. Thank you so much. And Marcus says, my concern is, will we take advantage of the opportunity? I will be watching it once again pass us by. We could have been on this page a long time ago if we would just unite and try. I mean, I absolutely agree. And then Cindy says the Senate won't do it, Donovan.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It goes to the Senate.
I mean, the Senate is, like you said, controlled by the Republicans. They're pissed off. They're even now more pissed off because, see, we told you.
Well, they're also psychopaths, so.
Yeah, but I'm saying now that, I can't turn on NPR when they're talking about it without hearing the Republicans. See, this was a witch hunt. We told you guys. You guys are going after the president. And it wasn't right.
I do have a problem with the witch hunt because how many, when they were investigating Clinton, no indictments, no nothing, $720 million, wherever it cost. Mueller, how many people have gone to jail already that are about to go to jail?
Quite a bit.
So saying it's a witch hunt is meaning going after something that doesn't exist.
Well, we know, but I know, but that's Trump's talking points, and unfortunately,
so it did.
People listen to Trump. I mean, we have senators, but congresswomen, Ilhan Omar. She has to have extra security now over a tweet of a video that it was doctored. It wasn't even a full video. People talking about killing her and other people and this, that, and the other off of Trump's tweets. And he's not even sorry about the fact that he's going to potentially cost one of his, fellow, what do you call it, Congress people, whatever, their lives over a lie. And so the point that I'm making is, when he tweets these things, people don't care
about. Sarah Sanders, if you read the report.
She's a liar.
Yeah, she's a liar. She said on national TV, all these people want this guy fired, and I talked to all these people, and then when they got her under Mueller, I didn't talk to anybody.
And then, and a lot of you guys, I'm sure you guys know, the report. It did say the only reason why Trump really wasn't found guilty is because he didn't get a chance to actually do stuff, because a lot of people said, no, I won't help you.
Right.
And so,
but that is obstruction of justice.
Right, I know that, but I'm saying to me the report is neither here or there. The point that I'm making is now the Democrat Party is really screwed. And I probably should find a different word than screwed, but it's the one that I can think of now. They're really screwed because, as I keep saying, they're nail in the coffin, which was supposed to be the narrative. The Mueller report was supposed to come back and find Trump guilty. They don't have that. In addition to black people finally stepping up and saying, never again, not another election will you just get our vote for nothing. So they are now, All I'm saying is we're moving the cards.
Yeah, I see where you're going with that. Basically, you're saying the Democrats' narrative was, we got to get Trump out of here and rally us. And now, because that didn't work, now they've got to find something else, and they have no rallying point, and we're focused on...
They have no more rallying point, which was supposed to be the Mueller report, nor do they have the full cooperation of black people like they did, let's say 2 years ago, or 3 years ago when Hillary Clinton was on. They don't have our full cooperation because, I mean, just look what we did, and we did this.
To Kamala.
Look at what we did to Kamala Harris. And anybody else, because even when Kamala came out, I think maybe Marianne Williamson was talking about, I don't even know if she was talking about it yet, but I think once everybody saw what happened to Kamala, they said, okay, we better come out, and Corey, but Kamala was the guinea pig.
Yeah, she was supposed to be the front runner, the second coming.
And because at first she was like, well, reparations, you know, she wasn't on board either. And so the candidates now, all of them are talking about reparations to some degree, whether they lying and saying they're going to research and study, or they're actually talking about an amount. As with Marianne Williamson, she's talking about $100 million. I don't know if that number's changed.
Yeah, she's got bigger.
So it's changed now. So the point that I'm making is black people have finally put their foot down and have demanded something to where, I mean, last election, was anybody talking about reparations? No, not one candidate was talking about reparations in just 3 years, not even 3 years ago, 2016. And now here we are in 2019 where every Democrat candidate is talking about reparations. And so the point that I'm making is, now that this Mueller report didn't come back in the Democrat favor as a scare tactic, the talking point, in addition to ADOS movement being in full effect, the Democrats are going to really need to not just study and research. They're going to need to, you know, sign on the dotted line and say, this is what we have for black people.
Well, we say this on our other show, don't we? Well, what have we said in the past? What's Trump done to us that no previous president done? Obama didn't do nothing for us, so Trump ain't really bothering us. If anything, by building a wall, and I'm not supporting the wall, but I'm just saying by building a wall, he is I mean, these people are coming to take our jobs.
Right. And so to your point, and Cindy says they need an agenda, absolutely. You also say, I agree, it might work. So I'm glad one person could see where I was going with that. Because I was thinking about it the last couple of days. I was like, wow, well, the Mueller report actually could be, maybe I'm using the wrong terminology, but a Hail Mary for us. That could actually be a Hail Mary for black people. Like, the Democrats are really, like, what else are they going to talk about now? You don't have black people on the hook no more.
We're all on social media talking.
We're all on social media, plus the Mueller report is, you can't use it now. In fact, the momentum, if you will, has swung for the Republicans. It is that, see, we told you.
Yeah, they said when the Mueller report was released, Trump went down about 3%.
It went down 3%, but you know, who were they polling? It wasn't everybody.
Well, no, you would think if the Mueller report went out and the Democrats are so, and blacks and people are so on it, would have gone up in support of the Mueller report. It didn't. It was just like flat. It arrived up.
Well, I just wanted. I think it was Reuters.
Yeah, Reuters.
So I don't know where they are as far as partisan or party lines. I don't know where they are, but that wasn't everybody polled. That was a few people polled.
Yeah, it was 6 people in the room.
Right, exactly. But it is still said that the majority of people do not feel that Trump needs to be impeached. Of course, it was like 44, 42%.
What's the point?
Right. So to me, it's like, okay, he even got into the White House, all the stuff we know.
All this stuff is a distraction to keep us in our place.
Exactly. It's all a distraction. We need to keep our eye on the ball. And so to me, the ball is, since we predominantly as black people vote for the Democrat Party, why not use everything we have to our advantage? And this just is just one of them. Hey, reminder, see, if I was a Democrat Party, I'm nonpartisan, but if I was, let's say, a representative, congressperson, senator or something, I would be talking about that now. I wouldn't be saying, well, when I get there, well, you have some power now. You're a congressperson, senator. Do it now.
Exactly. Congress has said it. Even though, let's say you're in the Senate and you're in the minority party. Let's say blacks in Congress right now, in the lower house. We want to do reparations, right? These votes are between the white people is almost 50-50. So they need that black vote. The Democrats need the black vote, even in the House, to get legislation passed.
They need the black vote to be a dog catcher.
Right. So if Nancy Pelosi wants this, that, cut the check. If you're not getting our votes until you cut that
That's
damn
what I'm saying.
check.
Why you wait until 2020 and cut the check? Cut the check now. And that way we'll say, oh,
Right.
or at least cut some of it here. It's some now in good faith.
The Congressional Black Talkers, that's all they're doing.
Right. Well,
They
of
could care
course.
less. That's what I'm saying.
But-
They have the votes to hold up legislation.
Well, why
do.
would they do that when they getting their check?
That's what I'm saying, though.
Yeah, they get
you don't
their
have
check.
to be in the majority. And I'm talking to the audience a little bit because a lot of people think that Congress was a majority and that's only. No, you could be the minority party
Right.
and still gear legislation to go. If you need my votes to get your agenda across, ain't no black person in Congress is supposed to vote until they cut the check.
Right.
We're going to hold everything up.
Right.
And that's how you're supposed to do it. And that's where the compromise comes in.
Right.
You want our votes? Cut the check.
I agree. Hey, Arson, he says, hey, guys, late again. No, you're just on time. I guess at the end of the day,
Black people time.
we should just go for whoever has an agenda, a positive one, specifically for black people. And yes, as you said, all of distraction. Absolutely, the agenda. And I think that's what I see before. And it's not, I don't really blame, like, the people running for office. I blame us. Because up until, well, we have some people like, you know, Dr. Claude Anderson. Dr. Claude Anderson been asking for reparations for a long time and, you know, all that other stuff. So you have people like him demanding a black agenda. But overall, most of us are just like, you know, he plays a good saxophone. She's got hot sauce in her bag, you know, or, you know, Obama, who had a lot of swag. And, yeah, all of that. That was the agenda. They just had to be cool. And so entertaining, but I think a lot of us black people didn't really realize what in a black agenda was or is or what it even looks like.
Or is the black experience based on buffoonery? Is that what they're telling us?
Well, because traditionally it has been. I mean, that's just the fact. You know, let's give them a little entertainment or whatever. And, you know, because black people, we like to be entertained and the cool stuff. And so it's worked up until... recently,
I'll see you in 2 years.
Yeah.
Give me your vote. I'll see you in 6 years. I'll see you in 4.
And I want to say this too. I know that the ADOS movement is really big now, or it's getting big or whatever, but that doesn't discredit people before this movement took off again, because ADOS is not new. That doesn't discredit people who have been trying for reparations. People have been trying for reparations since it was taken off the table in 1865.
Well, I mean, I remember you back in high school. You were doing it since you were, what, 15?
I don't know about all that.
The Black Student Union, I mean, you were in there.
I've always been pro-black from a very small child, but I always said, I don't want 40 acres and a mule. Give me 40 acres and a Tesla or something, a G-Wagon.
Right.
And I'll take a check too, you know? Just saying. And hey, Aaron, she says, Dorothy Anthony encouraged people to kill others, and Dorothy Anthony encouraged people to kill others, and he will get them legal help. This is criminal. Trump tells his supporters. So, who was that? Dorothy. He said encouraging people. I think you're probably tagging somebody. Or he says encouraging people to kill others, and he will get them. Oh yeah. So when he was running he was candidate Trump at his rallies. Was like you know, punch the dude in the face, and I'll pay for your legal fees. And
if you believe that, this man don't pay for nothing.
Right, but you actually had people going up punching people in the face and stuff.
Yeah.
And so we are just at the. I don't even want to say we're at the end of it, but I think we're at the resurgence of white supremacists who have been emboldened. Like they've always wanted to do those things.
Absolutely.
And now they're like, well, Trump is in office, and you know, white supremacy is back in effect. White nationalism. White people are fighting to retain what they have, and so it's nothing else. I read something on the border where some white dude was pretending to be border patrol, and he's arresting and locking up Mexicans. I don't know where he was locking them up at because I didn't finish reading the article, but it's like, you wasn't doing that 2 years ago.
Wait, stop. Cory Booker says that we should overcome them with our capacity to love. That's going to do the job. When they got a thing in their hand, they're going to bust you over the head. Do like Martin Luther King and love them. And you put yourself in the white man's shoes. If I'm dealing with these trifling Negroes, I'd had enough too. That poor white man.
Cory who? And Joey says, so are you bribing and selling your votes? No, we're not.
No,
well,
I'm not going to waste it.
Because I see where you're going with this. I'm going to entertain you just this one time, unless you want to join the conversation civilly. I will continue to entertain you. No, we're not bribing or selling our votes, if you will. But if you want to truly look at it, I guess maybe you can say we're selling our votes.
Yes, no, he's right.
Yeah.
No, you're absolutely right.
Yeah, now that you think about it.
Our vote is for sale.
Absolutely.
It is a transaction. When it comes to politics, it's transactional.
Boy, you think about it too. What is the purpose of a lobbyist? What do lobbyists do? Don't they go try to influence? Well, what has the Democrat Party been doing with black people forever? They've been trying to influence us into giving them our votes, and to a fault, we have given them our votes, and Joe, they haven't given us anything in return. Okay, they've given us lip service, hot sauce in the bag, and playing saxophone on our cereal.
Some more food stamps and keeping us weak.
Yeah, the social programs, and they've been giving us that stuff. But as far as the stuff that really matters, as far as lessening or shrinking the wealth gap, which it is said that it'll take black people 232 years to catch up to the wealth that white people have. Listen,
and guess what? We'll be dead.
I'm 48. I ain't old, but I don't think I'm going to be around here for 232 years. And so, yes, I look at a vote as an investment. It's an investment. If I'm going to invest my money,
it's a transaction.
If I'm going to invest my vote with you, I want something back in return.
You want my vote? What are you going to do for me?
Yes,
that's how it works.
That's like me going to go buy a car, and they say, "Oh yes, we got the best car for you. It's brand new. There's no issues, and this, that, and the other." And I'm like, "Okay, well here's my money." And then they keep saying, "But we got the car. We got the car." Okay, well where is the car? "Oh, we got it for you. Just wait for it." And I'm going to wait for 4 years for the car to roll up on the lot, but I didn't give you my money.
Oh, yeah, but I'll get your agenda next time.
No, I want my car right now.
Oh, no, well, yeah.
I want my agenda right now.
Yeah. You know what? I got this other candidate coming up, and they're going to do it for you. I forgot. I had to deal with other issues.
Yes, and Joe, I appreciate you for remaining civil. And the reason why I say that is because there's a lot of people who come on here sometimes, and they're not civil. So I appreciate you for that. And you says, they keep your race down. Yes, I agree. And, you know, it's just the truth, Joe. That's what they do. Is it calculated? Yes, it's calculated that they do that. For so long, they've known that they, being the Democrats, and, you know, Republicans too, Republicans don't even really try to get our vote because they know that it's just a lost cause up until recently. It's a possibility for them. But, yeah, they've done nothing but keep us down. We'll give you these social programs, keep you satisfied. Like, I don't know how satisfied one can really be on barely getting by. But I know as long as you're hungry and I can feed you to stave off the hunger, you're going to eventually be conditioned to wait. It's like a bird. When it gets ready to feed its young, they're going to drop the food. And we're like that baby bird just waiting. Just waiting for the food to be dropped into our mouths, you know.
And the sad thing is that the Democratic Party uses people that look like us to keep us.
Right. And Jody says, let me go. I'm sorry. I'm get back to the other comments really quick. And then Tammy says, "You are beautiful. I love your hair." Oh, thank you so much. You're beautiful
ladies,
too.
we're talking some serious issues into my hair.
And Joe says, "I wish I could call." You know, eventually we are going to get the capability to call Donovan, who you guys can't see.
Remind me. I'm writing it down right now because we do have a number. It just slipped my mind. I'm so sorry.
You guys can't see Donovan, but you'll be able to see him on the produced YouTube version. But he's gonna write it down, Joe. So that way you guys can call in.
Call in. I'm sorry.
So in the future we'll be able to have that. You know, you guys heard it right here.
Yes.
And hey, Hanny, you said the Jews are still getting reparations for a Holocaust. Why not reparations? Absolutely. There's a lot of people getting reparations.
Well, Uncle Ben, James Clyburn said, I thought Miss Nancy said Miss Nancy said that welfare was reparations. These are the people that we vote for. The number 3 guy in the Democratic Party, Negro. They put, because really Nancy wanted to say that. She said, "Nigga, go out there and tell these niggas what they want to hear." How's that reparations? Reparations is for a specific group for a specific problem. If everybody could be on welfare, that's not reparations. Right. That shows you how dumb that nigga is.
Reparations was meant to do what though?
To correct the wrong financially and
to shrink the wealth gap.
Right.
I don't know about y'all. I don't know anybody who's gotten, unless the people, you know, who was it that used the welfare queen?
That was Reagan.
Reagan, the welfare queen who had all this hustle going, but I don't know anybody who got rich off of being on welfare.
And see, and that's a misnomer. If you take 1 year of the military budget expenditure, it would cover all of welfare since the 1960s.
Ain't that something?
1 year.
That's crazy. And Joe says, I'm not a Republican, I'm a constitutionalist.
Right on.
All right.
Right on.
And then, so if you want to, expound upon that for those of us who are kind of wondering, what exactly is a constitutionalist? I'd love to read that.
That's usually a person that has a strict thing of what the Constitution says.
Oh, the Constitution. Yeah. Okay. And he also says,
usually,
livetruthradio.com. You hear that, Donovan? And then Sydney says, is Donovan on the phone? The excuse for him being off camera. I did see him checking his stocks.
I'm going to give you guys a tip at the end of the show.
Yeah, I saw him checking his stocks, but he's off now. Yes. He's actually tending to radio business.
Yes.
And I hope I'm saying this right. Dwight, I think I said that right. He says, amen. And so, yeah, I mean, we're just at the point to where, to me as a black person of 48 years old.
28 years old.
28, depending on, today I feel like I'm 48. Okay. These are exciting times.
They are.
These are exciting times because, I remember, I have I guess a good memory about politics from very young. And like I explained this to a lot of people, like my daughter and people. I remember as a child being called, the N-word, and I've even had, been spat upon, if you will, because I was black, so that kind of stuff. And I don't want to say I felt hopeless back then, but it was just kind of being in the middle of just, not that I'm trying to put these in the right words, not saying that racism has gone away, because it's not, it's actually gotten worse, but actually being a victim of that kind of stuff. And now I'm at a point where I'm actually seeing us get some leeway here. It's very exciting. And so just the possibilities of us actually getting close to what our ancestors were promised. And then, people like my mom, who's not here anymore, reparations was important to her. She came up during the Civil Rights Movement when things were segregated and she couldn't drink out of certain water fountains and all that other stuff. She was, so, to think that I may be able to get a check for those of the our people who are no longer here, that's exciting to me.
Yes.
So let's see here. And Marcus says, I really don't see a real opportunity for reparations right now, because the ones is so-called supported us, that so-called supported us, are now ready to turn against us because we want something back. The ones that have always, been against us, continue with the stronghold. If anything, I think we are blindly walking into quicksand, because white people and so-called white Christians are only polite as long as we are servants and in need. I get what you're saying, but another thing that is very hopeful to me, I can't remember the name of the basketball player. It's some white guy. I guess he's a pretty prominent, but I don't follow sports. He's a basketball player, and he said that basically, white privilege is, I'm paraphrasing, white privilege is a thing, and it is going to be up to white people to speak up. And he's saying that he's no longer going to be silent. I don't know if you guys, yesterday being 4/20, the national holiday, if you will, it's a thing, I guess. Ben and Jerry's, the owner of the infamous fatty ice cream, that's really good, but Ben and Jerry's, on 4/20, they released a commercial commemorating, I guess, their ice cream, saying that 4/20 is cool, but it's not going to be cool until black people are freed due to being locked up due to the criminalization of marijuana. So he says it's not they said it's not nothing really to celebrate until black people are free. So my point is, we do have some white people who are starting to say, not that because there's white people before, but there's white people now starting to use their platforms and saying, okay, you know what, I can no longer be silent. The guy, the owner of the Ravens, now he's taken a lot of heat through the Kaepernick thing. He recently donated $100,000 to the black churches when people got mad over the church in Notre Dame, the church of Notre Dame getting burned. He donated $100,000, and so is it perfect? No, but it's a very small start. So I think we should, be helpful, be grateful for the help we can get. And Joe says, research Peggy Hubbard running for U.S. Senate against Dick Durbin. I've heard of her before. So yes, that's something
But
we'll have to do.
but
Hey, Laura.
but just because somebody's running, it could be a worse situation because every congressional black talker, they put these black women out there and they parrot the exact line that Nancy Pelosi would say. She's using these people as pawns to keep us passive and peaceful and all that other good stuff. So, research your camera. I don't know anything about this lady, but please research it because you might be putting in the same situation. We have Maxine Waters here in California. Her area is being gentrified. And remember, she was, I want the taxes, I want this. She's not doing a damn thing. She's been working on reparations for over 40 years.
Got it. It all says the Mueller report has nothing to do with reparations. Black people will vote Democratic regardless. There is not a candidate that fully supports reparations. If they do, they want reparations for, let's see, reparations for being a Jew. Reparations for everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
Bernie Sanders got reparations for being a Jew.
Yes.
He does not support reparations for descendants of slaves.
Correct.
Until we can unite, I don't see it happening. ADOS are to be commended. You are to be commended until there is a candidate that fully supports reparations. Blacks need not vote at all. And I agree. And I don't think the Mueller report is connected, but I'm saying that it could be, leverage, if you will, to, I guess, muscle the Democrat Party, if you will.
Right.
But no, I agree. At this point, I think we do need to hold our vote because we've also fallen for that, I got to vote for the lesser of two evils, and no, we don't have to do that. We just don't vote at all.
No, exactly. A lot of you guys know that I was a big Bernie supporter. When I found out that he was against reparations, he wants to maybe study it, because now he's talking about, maybe we can study it, I think we should study it. No, if you aren't for reparations, you're not getting my vote. I would rather withhold my vote and let it go what it is. And I'm looking at Andrew Yang now. As a possible person.
Keep all your options open. Mm-hmm. But yeah, and Bernie, this is the thing with Bernie. I know there's a lot of Bernie supporters out there, but Bernie is so comfortable in knowing that he's going to win.
He's the front runner, yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't even, he's like, why do I need to jump on the reparation? I'm not even going to apologize for saying I don't think they should get it. Because he just knows that there's people going to vote for him.
The young people, the
young
millennials.
He'll win.
Yeah.
He may win anyway. I don't know, Joe Biden's supposed to get in next week.
Joe Biden has no chance. No chance whatsoever.
Why do I? But to O's point, hell, he got it for his people.
Yeah, exactly. And then that's why I said, you know what?
Right.
I'm out.
And Hanny, you says, am I saying that right, Hani or Hanny?
Honey.
Honey. Mm-hmm. He says, hey, Donovan Sadiq, you are a great basketball coach and mentor. I overheard you motivating the team and passing out gifts at Shakey's.
Yes, that was me.
Being Daddy Warbucks at Shakey's.
Yeah.
Buying, what was you buying him?
I bought him a game system of...
This dude ain't giving the kids no medals. He gave each of them a game system.
I gave him a medal too, but I gave him a game system.
A game system and a medal.
11.
I should have seen when I was playing basketball. I think we got a granola bar for winning.
Even though the team moms were supposed to pay for that, somehow it came out of my pocket. So not only did I give them the gifts, I also paid for the party.
That's because you're not really the ogre you try to be. And Cindy says Culver. Who's Culver? K-O-R-V-E-R.
Culver. I know what he's talking about.
Marcus says not to be negative, but we have always had profound moments with an opportunity for change. Many of those times did comment the hands of white people and black people working together, but let's see. But we are two step forward, 3 steps back people. Until we are united people by the millions, making white people in the suburbs uncomfortable with their privilege and security, it will remain a conversation that will maybe advance over the next 25 years or so. Well, this is my thing too. I don't think it's necessarily about us making white people uncomfortable as much as it is about us uniting. What's going to make them uncomfortable? It's us uniting and keeping the majority of our $1.3 trillion at home. That's what's going to make anybody uncomfortable. White people, Arabs, Indians, Asians, anybody who is benefiting off of black dollars, that's what's going to make them uncomfortable when we start saying enough. Let's keep our money home. As they say, longer than 6 hours. Let's start putting money into the black businesses we have and continue to build more black businesses, schools, you name it. And that's how people are going to be uncomfortable. And that's how, as Dr. Claudette Anderson always talks about, we changed the system, is with our spending power, right? And let's see. And Joe says, she's on her own. Peggy isn't like that. Okay, well, we have to check her out. And Marcus says, Bernie Sanders is a perfect example of what I mean when I say white people are gracious and kind until we want something. We have to understand that white people want to advance us only after they have advanced themselves another 50 years ahead. Well, I mean, I agree with that, but we're not completely powerless. And that's what I think the mistake that we make. We think we are completely powerless and that we completely need white people to do something for us. What we do need is for white people to agree that white supremacy is a thing and to help us in stopping that. But until that happens, we need to unite in every way, shape, and form. We have the ability to do that. We just haven't done it. And so, let's see. Cindy says, telling people not to vote is dangerous. Remember, the Supreme Court is a priority as well. Well, locally and on the state level, yeah, we should vote. It's very important. But I'm saying as far as the president goes, that's what, I mean, they have, I guess in some way on a state level, we have the power to affect reparations by saying, hey, we're electing you to go to Congress or whatever.
Yeah, because it's a closer thing to us.
Yes. But locally, yeah, your judges, sheriffs, and all those, we want to show up to that kind of stuff, but we're tired. I mean, we're talking since 1865. We've been trying to get reparations, okay? So we're tired of falling for the banana in the tailpipe. And so if it's going to take, because listen, Democrats can't do this. They can't do anything without black people. And holding the vote just may send a message to them like, oh, they serious.
Absolutely. Bush versus Gore 2000, if your vote mattered at all on that level, Gore would have been president. Gore won by what? Over 5 million votes? And he wasn't president.
Right.
Hillary Clinton recently won the popular vote by 3 million votes.
Right.
So on the national level, your vote, it makes you feel good.
Right.
It doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, you're getting out there getting all patriotic and stuff.
Right. That's why you have the Electoral College.
Right.
Trump won through the Electoral College.
And cheating. I'm just playing.
Yeah. Well, of course. But that's how you do it. Because when the Constitution was originally written, they did not want the common idiot electing the leader. So they had this secret group of people you don't know about that elect their leaders.
Especially a lot of the people in the last campaign who voted for Trump, they were against Obamacare, but they had the Affordable Care Act.
Right.
It's like, so that's the kind of people you probably would, or people who's like, well, she had hot sauce in her bag, she all right. You probably don't want those type of people at the helm of the of the voting process.
Right, and then you got to think about this. I know it's not a political show. They chose Hillary, had 535 superdelegates before she even had an opponent.
Right.
So they're telling us who your leaders are, and you know what? People said no. So when this Trump thing came about, people are so sick of the establishment that they said, you know what? Yeah, this guy grabs pussies, and he does this, and he does that. But you know what? I'm sick of what's going on the level, and they threw this guy in there, and this is what you get.
That, and he gave a lot of people who were white supremacists a voice.
Right.
He gave them they are finally
somebody's going to stand up for us.
Yes, our leader has emerged. You know. And so Cindy says Corver is the white NBA player who the piece you were referring to about the white privilege.
Right.
Okay,
yeah. Yeah. I knew he was the shooter. The guy.
Right. So more and more people like him are starting to emerge, like saying we do have a responsibility. Like we have benefited from the institution of slavery. I mean, it's just the truth. And so, those white people are saying we can no longer remain silent. It's just unfair. I mean, it's something needs to be done. And if they have a platform, why not use it? So, big ups. And James says, black unity is the kryptonite to this country, period. It has to be attacked, so much so it has to be a line item on the budget of every local, state, and federal government. Absolutely. The J. Edgar Hoover says that the number one enemy to the United States is black unity. Yes. And that's not a secret. When black people unify, then everybody else is going to stand up and take notice because we are no longer going to be dependent or be as victimized as we are now. I mean, I like cringe every time I see one of us being brutalized. As you guys saw, the 15-year-old is now the hashtag going around Justice for Luca.
Mm-hmm.
The little 15-year-old boy who was brutalized by a police officer. He's just bending down to pick up his friend's phone who was being brutalized by the police. Police jumps on him, punches him, and smashes his forehead into the ground.
Of course. That's
and then lie and arrest him, saying he was resisting arrest and all this other stuff.
With all kinds of stuff.
So I cringe because I see that, but I also cringe because it's like these people know that right now we're not doing anything about it. We're just, oh my gosh, just, we're becoming hashtags, but we're not really taking action.
Well, Demetria, what did we talk about before the show even started today? It's crazy how we are paying for all this, and until the next thing comes. We're letting all this stuff happen to us when we have the power. What did I say? We need to start electing people that are going to run our agenda, not their agenda and all this other. That's why AOC, even though I don't like her on the reparations thing, she's there to handle her business for her district. She's like, I'm not with all this.
Right.
But it's crazy how we pay people to brutalize us in our own neighborhoods.
Yeah, if you really think about it. And also says Trump is a celebrity who loves celebrities.
Yes.
Get a black celebrity who knows reparations to pitch the idea to Trump. Show him that he can make millions because black folks will give. I don't even see the rest of your comment, but I know what you're going to say. We give the monies right back to the corporations, and unfortunately, that's just the truth. We have not conditioned ourselves to keep the money. We are consumers. We don't produce. We consume.
We don't produce a damn
But
thing.
to your other point, Dr. Claude Anderson was saying that if we were smart, we would, because he said he was writing and working with the Trump administration on something as well. Pitched the idea to Trump, since he claims that he likes black people. He's got the pastors and everybody up in there. Pitched the idea to Trump. We don't need to wait until 2020. See if he'll do it. Why not? It makes sense to me.
What do we got to lose?
What do we have to lose? And Charles says no one is speaking of abolishing the electoral college.
Well, I've heard rumors of that they want to do it. I've read it in like USA Today and stuff like that. So there's little rumblings, but it's not going to really take fire because that's their back door to keeping their power.
Absolutely. And Marcus, he says, if we really want to break the new ground instead of always having Sunday Bible service, let's have classes on how legislation and policy works. If we really want to break new ground instead of having, instead of having just cookout for black community empowerment, let's have the cookout and learn how our finances really can work on our behalf to change things. We have to get black people to have this conversation at the dinner table, and if the card and at the card party or the cookout, absolutely. Now, admittedly, a lot of people don't want to go to the cookout and talk about politics, but I agree with you. At least at the dinner table, first of all, we got to get back to the dinner table. Let's get back to the dinner table. And yes, we need to start having those conversations with our kids and our family and stuff. And absolutely teach financial literacy, because a lot of us just don't know what to do with the money. We get lump sums of money and we go
trick it off.
We trick it off. Or we go buy stuff to make us seem important, whether it's the Gucci bags and this, that, and the other.
The rims.
All that. Those things make us seem like we're in. But being in is buying back the block, like Nipsey Hussle did. I don't want to say he was doing, that he did. Influencing the people. And that's real validation.
Right.
But validation to yourself.
One of the hardest classes you had to take before you exited high school back in our day was what? Government.
Government.
You had to have a government before you left, and it's so sad because that is one of the hardest classes.
Yeah, I took it in summer school.
Yeah, I couldn't even CLEP it. I mean, I passed it in high school, but I'm trying to CLEP it in college.
Yeah.
That is a very, very hard subject. And if you don't understand how government works, thus we're still in the same
Which a lot of people don't. It's not nothing to do with black people not knowing how it works.
People in general.
A lot of people don't. I mean, I saw a video where they went on the streets asking people different things about the government.
Yeah,
They're like,
do you know who the vice president,
is Puerto Rico part of the United States? Oh, no, even the President Trump didn't even know Puerto Rico was part of the United States, talking about their president. Dummy, that's you.
Yeah.
And as Cindy says, I'm referring to the cases that the Supreme Court that is going to affect us and who appointed two of them. Can you expound on that a little bit more? And you also say Marcus is right.
He's talking about the Kavanaugh and the last two that is going to change a lot of what's going on in the Supreme Court. And but again, what can you do about it? I mean, we sit, we let it happen, then we go on to the next thing.
Right. We just, as I
We
say,
get upset at the time.
what I say about the frog in the pot.
Yeah.
You guys hear that frog in the pot analogy? The frog is in the water, is lukewarm, or it's, you know, it's cool, whatever, and eventually the heat gets turned up. The frog says, "Oh my gosh, it's getting hot." Oh well, but what's new?
Yeah.
It keeps getting hotter and hotter and hotter. Oh my God, it's hot. Oh, but what's new? And then pretty soon it boils to death, and that's just what we are. We're the frog in the boiling pot of water.
Because if the water was already hot, the frog would immediately try to jump out.
Right.
You know, if you put him in there, he tries to jump out.
Well, but we just get used to it.
We
Right.
get used to it.
So, and Cindy says they won't abolish the electoral college. The poor southern states will cry.
Yes. Yes,
Okay.
that's their back door to power.
Right.
To keep the power.
And Marcus says, ask anybody here how policy works or how legislation works. You will find very few that actually know. Ask anybody here how money works and investments work, and you will find, I think it said, you won't find many who have, or you will find many who have no clue. Let's see. Many who have no clue. We have to know more than saying, we want to be treated better. We have to know what battery is and know and how to get it and where it resides. So I'm not sure what you mean about the whole battery thing. But yeah, I mean we do need to educate ourselves on how government works. That's a start. So once we do that, we need to figure out what we might need to do at the same time, how money works. A lot of us have no idea how money works and what we can actually do with it. Like, I'll give you guys a perfect example. We live in California. My nephew said that he paid $4.50 for gas.
For gas.
The other day. I'm also having the same conversation with my nephew, and he's a vegan as well. And he says, I'm not able to juice as much as I want to because even vegetables have gone up. Guys, I went to the store and celery is almost $3 a bag.
I want y'all to stay out of my damn yard. Do not get in the backyard.
I brought my grocery bags so I can go back there
and get some apples
yes.
and get stuff.
But so because the gas is high, everything has been passed down to us, the consumer. So not only paying more money for gas, like a month ago, gas was $2 cheaper.
Yeah, it was $2.86.
Yeah, so they're under $2 cheaper.
To me, that's high, and I was complaining about that.
Yeah, but $4.50. Some places it's $5.
And no refinery explosion.
Now we go to the grocery store. I like avocados, but I ain't gonna pay $3 for
start
one.
Planting one.
You know,
start planting.
So the point that I'm making is, I know how money works to some degree, and so I have to just cut corners here and there. Obviously, I'm not gonna starve, but we need to know how money works. And to Donovan's point, maybe it's time to think about start planting some trees and you know, all that kind of stuff.
Because in my backyard, I got it all: plums, peaches,
but more
apricots.
importantly, learning how to do for self, because we have no control over the gas.
Exactly.
So I mean, we're just vulnerable out here. So we need to learn how to save ourselves.
And speaking of money and politics, they actually go hand in hand together. Now, Dee knows that I'm a political person. Dee actually helped me run my campaign. The city that I live in right now is controlled by a developer. How does he control it? He contributes money to certain candidates that make decisions that have to go through him because he is a big donor.
Absolutely.
We have a district attorney in the county. This guy is a big donor. Now, this guy has done some criminal activity that is just like Trump. Do you think the DA is taking any action on this particular person? The DA told me he needs overwhelming evidence. So basically, he's basically telling me I'm not doing a doggone thing.
Right, so beat it.
Yeah, so beat it. But the point is, that is how it merges. So if you're a business owner, I'm going to give you some advice. If you're going to open a business, no matter where you're at, you go to your city councilman and say, hey, are you running for election next year? And you make a donation and see how certain things in zoning areas get done, rule in your favor. And that's how it's done.
Right. And Cindy says, I met the president of USVI and Puerto Rico. Laugh out loud. You met Trump? And then Cindy says, I have a degree in finance. Well, shoot, you should be giving us some advice.
Give us some advice, brother. Give it up. Oh, he has to charge. Brother ain't giving it for free.
Hey, listen, I ain't mad at you. And Marcus says, we have to know what better is and how to get it and where it resides. Many of us think Freedom Financial is working 40 hours instead of 50 hours. Many of us, financial literacy, buying back the block, helping your people. They said through all of his programs and initiatives, over 40,000 people were hired. You know, people who necessarily wouldn't have been hired anywhere else, felons and things like that. And so we just need to learn those things. So I absolutely agree with you. And working 40 to 50 hours is not financial freedom. I mean, it might be, helps you, you know, with the bills, but it doesn't help you in every other area of life because you don't have the time to do nothing. Mm-hmm. And Joe says, I live in South Central Illinois. Gas is $2.69 a gallon. Boo!
Yeah, boo, yeah. Anywhere outside of the border of California, you're looking at least $1 more because we have additives, because we're such a economically free state. So ours is automatically going to be $1 more than anywhere in the United States.
I just don't enjoy spending damn near $50 to get a half a tank.
Yeah. $50, that's good.
And I drive a mid-size car.
Right, and yours is a sipper.
I got the Eco on it. I'm like, I ain't filled my car in a minute.
Yeah, right.
I drive real slow.
You know, and not all of us have to, are going to, when you're single like we are, our kids are grown, I don't need a Costco card to use the Costco gas over there because I'm not buying in bulk anymore. So.
Right. And then Cindy says,
right.
Money talks and BS walks.
Yes,
that's
hey,
what
Cindy,
ride the block.
Yes.
And Larry says, facts. Yeah, I mean, we got to start doing those things. No longer can we think on an individual basis. Mm-hmm. Well, I'm going to get this and I'm going to get that. Like, if you're going to get, as the old people say, a piece of money, think about buying some land. Maybe there's not a house on there right now, but buy some land.
Do you think the narrative of, you got black women that I'm going to do it myself?
Richard, you glow. He says EV for the win. He has an electric vehicle. I think you're driving a Tesla, right?
Yeah, you must be doing a Tesla thing.
He is. Boo! No.
But do you think this narrative that we teach our young girls, you don't need nobody, do it yourself. We got to start telling kids we need together. You might be single as a person, but together as a community. We need to start investing because, I run into a lot of women, they might be, struggling. I don't need I can do it myself. You can't do it by yourself.
Well, my mom used to always say you're going to need somebody.
Someday.
I don't care who you are, you're going to need somebody. So, yeah, I don't think we should teach people, our kids, you don't need nobody. We always need somebody, and especially to your point, black people, we need each other.
Yeah.
Like, we need to save ourselves. Yeah. We are our own safety net at this point. Reparations should just be... obviously, it's going to help us tighten the wealth gap, if you will, but that should be extra in addition to what we are already doing.
Right, because I'm seeing all these homes being built here and around the United States, and I look at the Asians and the Mexicans, they come in there and they buy the whole block.
As they're supposed to.
Yes, and they rent to their folks, but they do it as a community. Us, I ain't going to do that.
By the block, the neighborhood, and the shopping malls, what do you call it? The strips,
the strip things,
the strip malls, and all that stores. And I mean, they're just doing it.
Yeah.
You know.
Next door, my neighbors are moving, so they got a for sale sign. But the way the for sale sign sits is
by your house.
It sits, right on my house. So a lot of people come and they think that my house is for sale. And I was talking to my neighbor. He was like, "Oh, your house is so beautiful. You did such a great upgrade and everything." He goes, 4-bedroom. I said, "Yeah, 4-bedroom." He goes, "How much are you selling it for?" I said, "I'm not selling."
He's like, "Cause I want it."
Yes.
Right. To get rid of the last black man standing on the
block. Exactly.
And Cindy says, "Wait to Houston. What? What to Houston? Mm-hmm. What did I miss?" And you said you need a Costco card for gas. News to me. Well, Costco
has a gas thing. Yeah.
What is it, like 50 cents cheaper now?
Yeah.
I ain't no Costco by me, so by the time I drive to Costco,
you already spent that money.
Yeah. So 50 cents. And then Richard's laughing, because he's got this, electrical vehicle and stuff. Yeah. Boo.
See, but that electrical vehicle in California, you're gonna go here and there a little bit.
And don't you have a scooter too? Mm-hmm. See, that's what I said. I'm gonna get me a moped.
Right. See, and the thing is, electric vehicles are great here in California, but it's only good for commuting because here in California, to get distances, we have distance. So that electric thing is only go so far. You got to park it and charge it.
Right. And then you take the gas guzzler if you need to go somewhere.
Right. So you need the hybrid.
Right. Marcus says, personal opinion. I don't think we have any clue as to how much hate there is out there for us. Oh, I think we do.
Yeah.
I don't think that we have any clue what goes on in the black back rooms between between Democrats and Republicans. I don't think that we have any clue as to how quickly the laws will adjust themselves to hold us. we do not have any clue as to how owned we are.
Oh my God, yeah, a lot of us do. But that's what I've been saying for a long time, Marcus. The donor, if you look at their donors, these are the same people. They don't want us to leave because we're the economic base of this country. That's why you don't see black, and shout out to my brother, he went to Italy and did what he had to do. But how many of us black people, we go to Europe on vacation, we go to the Caribbean on vacation, but we don't go back to Africa.
Go home.
Well,
Right.
how come we don't go there? Because we're conditioned to say, oh, there ain't nothing in Africa. Well, I got nothing in Africa, but we're going everywhere else.
Right. No, absolutely. But I think a lot, to your point, a lot of us do know, but a lot of us don't know. And I think owned is really a strong word, but I think it's pretty accurate. I mean, we are owned as long as we don't have control over us. And we just don't. Right now, we don't have control over us.
And both parties are the same. I've been saying that for years. And like Demetra says, why don't we start another party? The problem is those two parties gang up on any party that comes up. Right now, good example, Bernie Sanders. If the Democrats don't hit him, the Republicans hit him because they don't want that universal blah, 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 whatever going on.
We need to call our party Hold Your Vote Party.
The rent's too damn high party.
The gas is too damn high party, okay, out here. I think do you think I'll get elected? The gas is too damn, no?
No, here, yeah. And
yeah,
locally,
the gas is too damn high.
Locally, absolutely.
Right. We're going to call ourselves the scooter something. Okay, and let's see. And Sydney says, you know how they do it. And Arthur says, okay, guys, I really don't mean to shift the attention too much here, but something hit me last night that made me think of you and Donovan.
Right.
I just had to share it. You know, I always knew, let's see, ooh, you was going.
Go in, brother. Go in.
So I always knew white people plan things so many years ahead. I am sorry, here's what I'm referring to. Remember gentrification last week?
Yes.
By the way, thank you, Donovan, for that point. Pointing out Starbucks is one of the first signs of
gentrification.
Of it. Well, last night I was watching Boys in the Hood, and remember that scene where the father is telling them about the neighborhood. He uses specific words, and all the signs have been there all along. I thought this word was new. Really? Do you need a leader to look to? We really need to step our game up. And yes, to reply to some guy, we have to bribe our vote. Yep. We need a whole bunch of Donovans. I believe a change will begin with our money spending habits.
Thank you, yes.
Absolutely, yeah. That came out with the 90s, early 90s.
89, 90.
And you're right, Lawrence Fishburne, he played the character Furious. He did use the word gentrification as he was showing...
he said, what are y'all, step and fetch it?
Yeah, he was showing the boys what was going on in the neighborhood. What, 1990? Actually, and you know... Wasn't that the brainchild of John Singleton, who unfortunately yesterday just had a stroke? So Speedy,
my gosh.
Speedy recovered him. I guess he was on a plane or something.
Okay.
Yeah, and had a stroke. So,
yikes.
But no, absolutely right. And then Richard says, charge while you shop. Yes, I see you're kind, Richard.
Charge while you shop.
Yeah, I see you're kind. Or they're plugging your car in as you're going to Trader Joe's.
See, Richard doesn't understand. When you're in traffic in California, you're in a parking lot, so you're going to be sitting there for a while.
Yeah, I think Richard. I think he has a scooter or something.
Yeah, but he's putting it in. Look, hey, brother, you're blessed. I'm telling you, don't live here. Thank God.
No, he does live here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so he's doing his thing.
I know Richard.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm thinking Chicago or something like that.
No, and Sydney says, I do not need a Costco card.
There you go. Hey, well, you balling, brother.
And then Richard says, buy stock in blue chip companies that pay dividends.
Yes.
Blue chip is old school.
Yes, but it's still good. Hey, and a shout out to my brother who just got online. He probably got done cutting the yard and going to church.
Bro.
But being a heathen, I'm surprised he even went to church. So good for him. There's always hope.
Some sibling rivalry there?
No.
Calling your brother a heathen?
Well, he is.
On this good Easter Sunday?
Well, he's a Marine, so the Marines are the devil's Uncle Sam's misguided children. But hey, you guys can get a chance, grab a pen. I got the number for you guys to call next week, so you guys will know.
Oh my God!
And so at least you'll have the number. You can.
Well,
call
you know what? If you I'm about to say, but go ahead and pin it on here. The number. Let me see if I don't have the capability. Okay, and so let's see. Richard says, invest.
Well,
I'm late to the game, so I'm learning too. Absolutely.
Well, I'm glad you just brought that up, Richard, because I've been writing down some tips that is on the Stash app that we used to, and we're going to give it to you.
Hold that, yep. Mm-hmm. And so Marcus says, not to force EFF, Economic Freedom Fighters, and Julius Malima's, John was stupid, Julius Malema down anyone's throat. So you don't want to force him and the EFF down anyone's throat. but they simply write down and a manifesto exactly what they were trying to achieve. Their 4 people did not have to know much about specific details, but they had a basic platform that everyone could follow and build on. We need a brightest to do the same so that everyone can get behind it from the most basic to the most enlightened. Well,
cut the check.
I agree with you. Okay, because I've read the EFS manifesto.
Did you help write it?
Yeah, I did. No, just playing. I read it, and it is very simple. However, the only thing I would say to that, Marcus, is we have had blueprints.
Yes, and we just been brainwashed.
Marcus Garvey. I mean, even to modern day, you have Louis Farrakhan. You have
no, you had Elijah Muhammad that put it out there.
Right, you're right. Right. So you had Elijah Muhammad, The Message to the Black Man, which I think everybody should read. And then Farrakhan is just cover. They actually have one called Muhammad's Blueprint. So yeah, So you're right, Elijah Muhammad. Dr. Claude Anderson, you know, has a blueprint. So we have the blueprint. We just
Steve Harvey. The cooning thing. Didn't he say that? Didn't he tell Monique? This is how you spoke. We black out here. We black out here. You can't do what that white man do. You got to coon and be a monkey and all of that. That's what he said. It's a blueprint. It worked for him.
I don't think we talk about him.
Okay, gotcha.
So Dr. Claude Anderson is through Powernomics that he's had, you know, the blueprint. So the blueprint is there. We just need, like, you know, I don't subscribe, if you will, to religion, but I do know the Bible a little bit. And it does say my people were destroyed for their lack of knowledge and, with an emphasis on and, their rejection of truth. So it's not that the knowledge is not there. It's just that we reject the knowledge. We got to want to inculcate the knowledge in order for it to work. So you could come up with a blueprint. I could come up with one. Now, we can all come up with a blueprint, but it's just a blueprint if nobody follows and uses it. So, yes, the EFF has a blueprint. It's I like it. It's simple. We all have had blueprints to go from. We just need to start going from them, using them, right? And then Sydney says, D, your trip to New York City, cancel it. Why? Why should I cancel it? And then he says, not a lot, Donovan, though. So I don't know what that meant. And then Samuel, what's happening? Says, greetings.
Hey,
he said, could I have a brief summary? Yes, brief summary. I was just talking about the Mueller report and saying that the Democrats thought it was going to be the nail in the coffin for Trump. It wasn't the nail in the coffin. It actually is more of fuel for the Republicans. That gives Democrats something more to work against, because now you have the ADOS who was formed, in addition to the Mueller report not being what they needed to form talking points. And so this gives us as ADOS, if you will, those who call themselves ADOS, who are seeking reparations, more leverage, if you will. The Democrats are now going to have to say, gosh.
They got to come up with another plan to rally us.
They need black people. The end, you know.
Just getting Trump out of office isn't enough.
Right.
You know?
And then Marcus says, yes, but we have never had a detailed statement or document explaining exactly what we want in this country. The great thing about having such a thing is that it leaves out the room for debate, which, let's see, leaves out the room for debate. I lost your comment. Oh, I see why, because it's really long. Okay, it leaves out the room for debate, which is what kills us most times. If it is documented, then we meet only standing with his document and allow the opposition to hash out the rest. I may not be detailing exactly the way I needed to, but I think you get what I mean. And really, I think something like that would work, because it's easy for everybody to stand behind it instead of all over the damn place like we are now. Well, as I said, Dr. Claude Anderson has a blueprint through Powernomics. He talks about, what is it, the 5 things we need, which is building businesses, education, politics, police, and media. We need to be in control of the media. So he has a blueprint. And that's really easy to follow. It's like 5 steps of things we need to do in order to gain control of our narrative, in order to have some power. That's why he calls it Powernomics. And so, like, research Dr. Claude Anderson. There's a whole bunch of stuff on YouTube about him.
Yeah, but the problem is they have these Uncle Remuses and Jethros in Congress that will shoot that idea down or bury it.
But but see, we're giving too much power to the Jethros
Right.
in Congress. There's more of us than them.
Well, that's because Grandma and all them who fall under that ideology says, "Oh yeah, just follow,
Right.
just follow them." It's
Well, they were happy with the water fountain in the bathroom.
Exactly.
You know.
And until those people go and we start having these new ideas, that's why there's such a gap in the way the millennials think and the way we think. We are the last generation that actually thought like our parents. We listen to some of our parents' music. I mean, I don't listen to nothing that my son listens to. I'm like, what the hell is that?
I do.
Well, we know. But that's one of the problems that we're having, that these people bear. At 78 years old, do you think James Clyburn gives a damn about equality and all that other stuff? He's securing the bag for his family and his future.
Right. And Samuel says, blueprint for Black Power. Okay. And then Cindy says, my point made, no more Donovan, take the mic and hook him with the cane.
Yes.
Well, you talk about some damn Steve Harvey. Okay? And let's see. And then Samuel says, by Amos Wilson. Okay, so
Amos
you talk about...
write that down.
Yes, so it's actually Blueprint for Black Power. You know what? It's funny because I heard about that book from somewhere and I was trying to find it. I couldn't find it on... I think I looked on Amazon or something. I couldn't find it, but I'm going to look again. And then Cindy says, gentrification, the only borough not fully gentrified is the Bronx. Wow.
Wow, I didn't know that. Okay.
I'm sure it's coming.
Yeah.
And you guys see, too, Howard.
Oh, yeah, about
Howard.
that guy that wants to walk the dog and he
They said that's becoming a thing, that white folks are walking their dogs through their campus. And not only are the dogs just walking there, they're also using the bathroom, if a dog can use the bathroom, trying to be nice. They're doing this other stuff. This is a historical black
and
college.
they're demanding that the college move?
They said, it should move. Like, you're an implant here. You gentrified the area now because you're here. The whole black college should just move so you can walk fight them.
But isn't that the blueprint? Isn't that what they do? They're making $1 billion stadium in Los Angeles, and all those homes that have been there. Oh yeah, y'all got to move. The rent's got to go. Y'all got to move out of there.
Damn your education, Negro. You need to move so my dog can go walk.
Right. Fluffy needs to take a dump.
All right. And then let's see. Marcus says it's too far-fetched to say that because it would take us 250 years to catch up physically and financially to the average white person. It's too far-fetched to say that we need a separate branch. Let's see. A separate branch of government for at least 100 years to push and enforce. I need some concerns if we are really, really going to get on a level playing field.
Well, let me answer that real quick. I just got an idea. Why do we even need a separate branch of government? Because that's not going to work. Anything that we attach ourselves to the United States government is going to be linked in racism. Why not do what the Indians do and do a standing treaty to where they just give us some land, do what we got to do, we have a standing treaty, and we make our own rules and our own law, because we are a nation within a nation.
Or why not do what everybody else is doing? Hispanics are already doing it. They might not have their own government, but they got their government within their government. They don't. They have their own financial system working with each other. They got the businesses, they got the schools, Asians. Everybody else is already doing it. Now, they don't need a government per se, but the government listens to them because they know where there's money and unity, there is power. And so that's why you see a lot of politicians rallying behind DACA. You see more of our black politicians talking about DACA than you do about reparations.
Or think about these politicians that it seems like every politician supports veterans.
Right, because that's where the attention goes. And so, to your point, Marcus, black people now realize that we need a black agenda, if you will. And so now we're asking them to go to Washington with the black agenda and actually deliver it, not just research and study. So now all we got to do is, I just say, hold the line. Don't give up. Don't, get fooled, if you will.
Yeah, the thing is, I think Malcolm X said this in the 60s. He said, white people can help us, but you can't join us. If you want to, form a group of the friends of the black folks, whatever, because when a white person joins a black organization, they want to take it over.
Well, he says you should question why would anybody white want to be at the helm of a black organization like your SNCC and the NAACP?
And that's exactly what happened to those organizations.
Right, because he says, that just should be something that should be concerning to us. Why can't we be at the helm of our own? Is there
organizations.
something more that you're looking to influence it for your own benefit? So more than likely, yeah.
And thus the NAACP and all these organizations from the 60s haven't done shit since.
Right. Well, the mission accomplished.
Mission accomplished.
And Marcus says, well, to Donovan's point, they took from the Indians when they needed to. How quickly will they take from the Indians if ever in need again? These policies only work when the white people that when the white people that put them in place are still okay with what they put on paper.
Right, but here's the thing. Now, I know what you're talking about, Marcus. Like years ago, we have a thing where let's face it, there are more colored people in the world than there are anything else.
Mm-hmm.
We have a thing called the World Court. When you got a standing document, if the Indians wanted to go to the World Court, that's why Trump and those people and Obama and them, as a soldier, they won't let us be charged for war crimes.
Mm-hmm.
Even these private contractors and stuff, they won't let us be charged for war crimes. But see, when the world gets involved and you got these documents, you don't think they're going to say, as great as the United States is, we can't take on the whole world.
Well, and not only that, Marcus, but what happened with the North Dakota pipeline?
Right.
That was on sovereign land.
Yeah.
And the Indians, did they build that pipeline?
Yeah, they're building it.
But look at the
spills that have happened.
Yeah, but not only spills, but look at the opposition that came. And it wasn't just Indians; they had all kind of people out there holding the line, if you will.
Yeah,
you know,
and the white people know that it's a new day because you got these people of color that are now using the courts and the court systems to address inequities and issues that are not. The only reason the Indians are not going to the World Court for the genocide that happened to them is because we capitulated and we gave them casinos and all that other good stuff like that.
Indians are set.
Yeah.
They're set. Right. Anytime, especially out here, how many Indian gaming and bingo casinos are like a lot? And
you got to remember this: the Indians' healthcare, they don't worry about healthcare because it's provided by the United States government.
Right.
A lot of people don't know that.
Right. No, absolutely. And so thank you, Sammy, for providing the link for the book. I do want to get that book. And Cindy says, Samuel, I cannot click on the link. Okay. I'm going to try to find it again. And then let's see. Samuel says, copy and paste. Okay.
Copy and paste. Gotcha.
Copy and paste and then put it into the search engine. Got it. Then Marcus says, I believe for us, the true measure of success in the opportunity is, can a black person build an Amazon or a Microsoft or a Facebook without restraints or immediate legislation to capitalize and control? Yes, we can.
Go to Africa.
Right.
Go to Africa. They are doing it over there.
Absolutely. And I mean, if you think about it, it's black people who are at the helm of inventing a lot of that stuff. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, it can be done. The problem is we lack unity and support for these people.
Exactly.
I mean, there's a lot of black online shopping entities already. Mm-hmm. But how many of us know that? How many of us actually go there and shop with these people?
China is investing heavily all throughout Africa. So a lot of these small African businesses are signing on with these Chinese businesses. These guys are becoming billionaires and all kinds of stuff.
Have you guys heard what happened in China with Amazon last week?
What happened?
China ran, I don't say they purposely ran Amazon out of there, but Amazon is packing up and leaving. Now, Chinese people can shop online on Amazon, but Alibaba, which is owned by Jack Ma, who is a a very influential Chinese billionaire who owns an Alibaba like an Amazon. Amazon couldn't compete in China, due to Alibaba. So, the point that I'm making is obviously, his people, the Chinese people, are giving him the business he needs to say Amazon is just a second. Like, when we think about ordering something right away, Amazon. Mm-hmm. But the Chinese people are like, no, Alibaba. Mm-hmm.
Right. So, and that's 1 billion plus people.
Exactly. And so Joe says, join the Constitution Party and have everyone leave the Democrat Party. Mm-hmm. The black community needs to make both parties take notice. Yes. Absolutely.
Yes.
I 100% agree.
Doesn't that sound like Candace Owens?
Candace Owens?
Yeah, what's that? She wanted the Dexit?
The Blexit. Blexit, yeah.
So.
Well, I mean, I agree. I think it's time that black people leave.
Yeah, no, I think we should be independent.
Yeah, I think so. Democrats, they've had our vote a long time now.
Yeah, and the reason I say independence is because you can't tell me there's stuff in the Republican Party you don't like, and I like stuff in both parties.
I do too. I do too.
Yeah,
and so Marcus says there's no way we can get away with the criminal activity that goes on in the medical field if we were a major black-owned pharmaceutical company.
Right.
We allow medicine to kill us for billions so they can only pay out millions. Okay, let me say this to you, because I agree with that, but this is the other part. Remember I said our people are destroyed for the lack of knowledge and the rejection of truth. You know good and hell goddamn well, if you eating ribs and greens and pig feet and grease and oil and sugar and salt, you're gonna die. You know, if you don't drink water, you don't exercise and do the things that are conducive for life, you're gonna die. And so nobody should be dependent upon the pharmaceutical industry. But that's just us not getting the information and using it. No matter who you are, especially black people, we're the most unhealthiest people on the planet. And so if we continue to eat like that, we know that the pharmaceutical company is never ever going to give us the cure. In fact, they're probably killing us. Okay? And so if we keep the population control, eugenics, if we are dependent upon those things due to the stuff that we are doing, then whose fault is it really?
Yes, I went to the doctor last week, and she gave me this thing on sodium, and she's an Asian lady, Indian, Asian. And do you know that sodium is very high in youth because we're giving them all that damn ramen.
Cheetos!
Yeah, Cheetos, ramen, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Kind of thing. And if you have sodium at a younger age, the chance of you having a heart attack in your think about all these young people that are dying. You know, if you're in your 40s, you're having a heart attack.
Which a lot of people are. I mean, 40 is a baby, and you're dying of a heart attack, diabetes, strokes, all kind of stuff. And so, yeah, we just got to, like, at some point in time, we got to put the responsibility back on us. If I look at my playlist, and I'm not saying I'm the healthiest person, although I went to the doctor a couple weeks ago, and he said, you good to go, sister. You just need to probably lose 15 pounds. But that's neither here nor there.
No, Al says absolutely not.
If I'm looking at my plate, and I have nothing that is going to render life on it, then I may need to think about some things. I may need to think about the way I'm eating, because doctors are there to secure their bag. They don't secure their bag by giving you the cure. Like, a lot of times doctors will tell you need to eat better, you need to exercise, you need to drink water, but they know we ain't going to do it.
Exactly.
So they give us a medicine to keep us on the precipice of, yeah, you feel better, but you need to come back here in a month. You know,
right.
And Terry Hay was having says Demetri K, Donovan Zeke are on fire, and Martin says Donovan and the meter. I'm probably saying it wrong. I have been saying, I think he says and Demetra. I think that's what you're trying to say. I have been saying to go to Africa. So if we're going to do that, then we need to go to Africa. God damn, let's go. Well, we leaving in September.
We leaving in September. We're putting our money where our mouth is. We're going to go out there and we're going to report exactly.
We are leaving in September, y'all.
And stopping in the Seychelles for a day.
Leaving.
Yes, I'm leaving this town.
Right. Leaving on the airplane.
I'm going uptown.
Right. Right. So, and then Sydney says no, and then Terry puts up black power fist. Well, his is on the yellow
but
side.
No, but as far as going to Africa, not only are we going, we're taking your daughter. And the reason why I thought it was so important, number one, she did what she had to do as a young lady. She finished her college. Congratulations to her. This is a good reward for her, because most likely when she does have her family, she's going to take her family.
Right.
And
maybe she'll move there.
Maybe she'll move there. A lot of people are moving there. They're saying, to hell with this.
Right. I mean, maybe I move there once I go over there and be like, wait.
I mean, and you can afford some land over there from what I'm hearing. So, but the point is.
Get a job with the EFF?
Yeah. Well, we already know you're she's the torture minister. No. But no, why is it that we don't go to Africa? We go to all these other places.
We believe the hype. Ooh, they living in grass huts around there.
And Tarzan.
Right, spear chucking and you know what's bad. And watch it. Don't take the expensive stuff over there with you.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong. You can go anywhere you like to go. But if you're as old as I am, I'm 40-something years old, and I've been to Europe, I've been to Japan, I've been to all these places. As a black man, I cannot say I've been one time to Africa. That's a shame.
I was going to say something else, but I ain't going to sound be nice.
Thank
and then Sydney says, Candace wanted us to go to the GOP.
Right, she's on that thing.
She cashing GOP checks. Ain't nobody listening to
this. And they busted her out, so she got busted out.
Listen, I'm going to say this about Candace, okay? This is one thing I will say about Candace Owens. I am not ever going to knock the hustle.
Nope.
White people pay Candace great money to say the things that white people want to hear.
Want to say.
She got her hustle down tight.
And got her white man.
I mean, I don't know where that is in the scheme of things, but
got her white.
She's cashing checks on telling people. That's what sales is. Find out what people want and help them how to get it while making a check.
Now,
that's sales.
Now, can Candace ever show her head in the black community? No, but that's the decision she made.
She'll be back.
She'll be back.
We're like Omarosa, my people. Oh, okay. And so podcast, we are getting ready to get out of here. I didn't realize how much time we got on there.
Got over a minute.
All right. So next week we'll talk to you guys on the podcast. Thank you so much.
And before we go,
the call-in number for those in the podcast is 951-489-7157. I'll give that again. Are we doing this next week?
Yes.
We're going to be taking phone calls next week. Y'all heard it here first. Again, that number is 489-7157. 951-489-7157. We will see you or hear you guys next week on the podcast.
And before we go real quick on the podcast, JetBlue stock, if you're interested, is going at $16.50. Become an owner. Southwest, $52.19. Alaska Airlines, $61.68. Delta, $58.16. Check it out on the Stash app. And
Stash can pay us some advertisement. Okay?
Gotta do something. I'm working on it.
Okay. And
see you guys next week.
And then Marcus says, my point with the medical statement is that we will never have the chains taken off completely to advance where we need to in America. No, I get your point about that. It's either time to separate or to leave. I agree with you on that. I mean, we're going to be waiting a mighty long time to have total equality here. And then Marcus, she says, question, where is the one place where with enough people to sustain itself without any help from anyone? Well, other races are doing that. And they're even doing it here. I'm not leaving here yet, Sydney, on Facebook, but just in a second, though. Other races are doing it here.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, especially out here in California, there's not a lot of black people in California.
Nope.
In fact, they said that the majority of black people live in the South now.
Mm-hmm.
That's where everybody's going. They're where we're going south.
It's like going to Atlanta in the 90s.
Yeah, and there's not a lot of black people out here in the West. There's some, but not like it used to be. I mean
we're almost non-existent.
We're hearing about people, the Forum is being rebuilt. Black people are, due to gentrification, are being moved out. They're paying $900 a month in rent, and now it's gone up to almost $1,800.
Yeah, and the sad thing is, here on the West Coast, if you're close to the ocean, you're being gentrified out of there, and now they're moving out to the desert, but everybody has the same idea, so the cost of living out here is going up.
It is.
So they're pushing us even farther, and black folks, we're at the bottom of the totem pole.
Right.
And we don't keep together on groups, and we willingly take welfare, and so they're just getting rid of, they're not even building Section 8 housing anymore like they used, government housing like they used to. Now they're giving vouchers.
And I saw, too, where HUD is actually having to force landlords to take the vouchers because now they're
people
like,
don't want it. Yeah, they don't want
we don't need it now. Shit, rent it.
Yeah.
Through the roof.
Unlimited.
Right. And so let's see. And Marcus says, for God's sake, we watched this country elect the most unacceptable human being into office since George Wallace tried. And despite what they say with the Mueller report and all the bullshit, I'll go ahead and say that for you, that doesn't matter. And many on both sides dislike him there because he does publicly what they do in private.
You got it, brother.
And now they're in, doing it out in public.
No shame.
A lot of them are losing their jobs, and getting in trouble. But yeah, a lot of them are like, well, Trump said I can do it.
That's right.
We're getting you out of here, making America grow, all that other nonsense, and I just, I'm not one for violence, but I wish one would.
No, you're not one for violence. You always send Deanna to handle it.
I wish one would. Talking about some Make America Great, and coming up, man.
With the MAGA hat.
You read about it. And it won't be, oh my God, I just can't believe they did this to me. Oh, I'm just a good black person. I don't deserve. It's going to be the total opposite of that. I promise you.
Yes.
Y'all going to be like, we need bail money for the sister.
Right. I got to go fund me right now. Rolling. Let me write that down.
I'm just saying. And not that I wish stuff like that happened, but I'm like, why it can't never be me?
Right.
Marcus says, I'm saying that Africa is the only place that's self-sustainable with all the resources that benefit, and for now it is, that benefit everyone except Africans on the whole. That is the fight, and we all should be fighting instead of trying to win a 100-year fight in this country. Yeah, but Marcus, we can't even get Negroes to go to the local black barbecue pit, let alone get Negroes to hop on a plane and move to Africa forever. Because I'm not saying it's impossible, but Marcus Garvey tried that over almost 100 years ago, and he was getting successful until, guess what? One of us came along and helped the government do that all in. And so, moving to Africa would be ideal, but you trying to get people who can't even grasp, if Sister So-and-so is selling, some T-shirts, and why she want $10 for that shirt? I mean, I'm just saying, but you let alone you want us to get on a plane and go, like, we got to get past the small little hurdles first, but I agree with you. I mean, I'm not in opposition to what you're saying. And Sammy says, there are some African countries that have opened up land for Africans throughout the diaspora if they are willing to give back from their sojourn, in America. International representative of the Nation of Islam, Akbar Muhammad, has the information. Okay, well, and I've heard that before. A lot of African nations are like, come home.
Come on over here.
Come on home. What y'all staying over there and all that oppression for? Come home. Like, I'm for it. I'm for leaving.
Certain African countries, being smart, they're trying to protect their people. They're doing the thing with the dual citizenship. If you don't have citizenship, you can't buy land there. Like here in America, everything's for sale. But there are some countries over there, they're like, please come on.
Right. And then you also say, Sammy, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said the Black Revolution will start in the West, and when the South rise, it's all over. Absolutely. So I think we're starting to see that manifest. The majority of Black people in America live in the South. And we are all getting forced that way. And so we're either going to be on a plantation or we're going to start a revolution. Which one is it going to be? I eventually will be in the South because that's where my man is. So eventually I will be there. I've lived in the South before, and I'm like, Lord Jesus, I don't know how y'all do it. Because, I'm from the West Coast, and, I ain't used to people talking to me all crazy.
Well, no, you know what it is. You're not used to the pace down there. It's like nobody's in a hurry to get anywhere.
I can deal with the pace, but I just can't deal with just like racism is very blatant in the South. And I'm like, oh, my God, I'm probably going to be lynched if I don't leave.
What I don't like is the pace. Nobody's in a hurry.
Right. And so, anyway, you guys, I don't see any more comments from you guys. And so if I do see some, I'll read them as we're getting ready to leave here. Thank you guys so much. What do we got here? So Donovan, so for those of you guys who, you know what I'm going to do, you guys, is I'm going to have a financial expert on here in the very near future.
Yes. And
please, not that me and Donovan aren't experts, but I'm talking about this dude. I'll probably have to write him a check. I'm not, because it's my brother. But this dude is one of the most educated men. I actually have two brothers who are very educated.
Professor Smitty!
Two brothers who are financially educated. You can ask these two dudes anything under the sun about finances and stocks, and they'll be able to give it to you. So when I have them on, I'm going to give you guys a heads up, and I promise you, do not mess this opportunity up. I'm going to let him sit here. I'm going to introduce the show. I'm going to let that dude sit in my seat, and you guys are going to be able to ask him any question you want. I promise you, the information he's going to give you guys is going to be mind-blowing.
And let me tell you, he's not talking Dixie, because this dude found over $13,000 that I have out there that I loaned, that I never have received from people that I gave back, that I am now putting out litigation letter because I want my money.
So I'm going to have him, I'm going to try to have him next week because he's very busy and stuff. But in the next 2 weeks, I'm going to have that dude here. So I'm going to tell you guys, please bring all your questions, because this is going to be the truth. And so let's see. And Marcus in closing says, racism actually is subtle in the South because white people have learned to sit back and watch black people destroy themselves physically and mentally. Where I live, the only thing white people do is stay on their side of town and wait to come collect the bodies from the black side of town for burial. Golly. You know what, Marcus, I agree with you, and I did notice that when I was in the South, a lot of black people don't even realize that is going on, but because I wasn't from the South, I noticed it right away.
What?
The racism and just how a lot of white people talk to you there. I was walking to a McDonald's with my ex at the time. My ex at the time is a truck driver, so we were on the truck. And we walked into a McDonald's in Indiana, and I asked this is when I was eating McDonald's back in the day. I asked the lady, the girl rather, who was at the cashier, I said, well, do you guys have any specials or something like that? We don't have no specials.
Oh, my God. My mom talks about that to this very day, how these girls just...
We don't have no specials here. This is a white girl talking to me, and I said, I'm sorry. and you know, this is not the customer service I was looking for. And my ex pulled me to the side and he says, we in the South.
Mm-hmm.
You can't do that here.
Right.
And I was like, what? And he says, no, and we didn't even order. He's like, never mind, because he was like, oh, she done turned up.
Right,
you know?
we got to get out of here.
I didn't like how she talked to me,
Mm-hmm.
but I guess that's normal.
Yeah,
so I was like,
normal.
oh, yeah, I got to get my ass back on the West Coast.
Mm-hmm. That is normal.
So anyway, you guys, I don't see any more questions, comments, or concerns, but as I said, please stay tuned. I'm going to have my brother here one of these weeks, if not next week, the week after, and he's going to sit here and give you guys the game. And Donovan wants me to tell you guys.
I got something to say to you guys. When wisdom talks, please listen.
Please listen.
Please listen.
All right, and so again, we're going to have a call-in number. I'm going to actually pin that for you guys next week, so don't worry about writing it down. The call-in number will be pinned next week. Donovan wants me to tell you about some stocks really quick for you guys, some of you guys who have the app, which we need to contact Stash and tell them to give us.
Yeah.
He says JetBlue is a good one. Southwest, Alaska, and Delta. Obviously, these are all airlines, so check into those. And let your money do what it's going to do.
The cheapest one, JetBlue, flies down to the Caribbean. They're all over the Caribbean.
Why is JetBlue cheap? I'm surprised they ain't got Spirit. Spirit.
Spirit on there, right?
Spirit is now trending at 3 cents.
Yeah. But the JetBlue one, they go down to the Caribbean. For you guys that'd like to go down to Jamaica and stuff like that, be an owner. It's one stock. $16.50. I just got the annual shareholder meeting for Southwest.
Yeah.
It's going to be in Colorado this year.
Are you going?
I got the ticket. I can go if I want to.
You mean Raising Hell?
No. I'll be like, well, I do got to talk to him about that software probably having that 737.
And about them funky old peanuts they keep giving you.
So.
Right.
But no, and that's the thing that we're trying to do on all the shows.
Let's make some money.
Yeah, if you don't want to do it for yourself, buy it for, that's a gift you can give your kids.
Right.
So you're an owner.
Right. Absolutely.
And do all that kind of stuff.
So anyway, thank you guys so much for being here. We love you, and we will see you next week.
Yes.
And again, I will let you know when my brother, the financial guru, will be on here. Until then, enjoy the rest of your Sunday if you partake in Easter.
And the YouTube video will be up by tomorrow.
So please enjoy the rest of your day. Peace.
Peace.